All right, guys, so today we're going to be talking about the Jabra Elite 10. And I want to start this video with saying this is pretty much Jabra's most advanced earbud yet. They're using some technology in these they haven't used on any of their previous earbuds. So it already makes these stand out, and the fact that they're from a company that honestly is one of the better known or at least better reviewed earbuds out there. So we're going to talk about a lot of the features that these have. We're going to talk about the sound, and right now they're on sale because they normally retail for $250, but right now you can pick them up for $199, and they pretty much have been at this price for about a month, maybe even a month and a half now. So it may even be that they're just gonna kind of lock it in at this price. Now they are available in different colors. I have the matte black version here, but it's also available in a gloss black. It's also available in cocoa and cream. So there are some different color options here. And apparently when you buy them on Amazon, the packaging is a little bit different than the retail packaging because I've seen these in stores and they have like the normal Jabra box. But with Amazon, and this is a legit purchase through Jabra on Amazon, it comes with more of a recycled looking box. But all of the instructions, everything's in it like normal. You just don't get the pretty picture on the outside. Now moving to talking about the actual case and the earbuds, the case is fairly small. It kind of has like a matte finish to it. It does a pretty good job of not picking up fingerprints too badly. The case is a Qi wireless charging case, so you don't have to actually, have these plugged in to charge. The earbuds on these are fairly small. They're very low profile. They're not a pair that sticks out of your ears too bad. There is a silicone, like rubbery, type finish to it, so it grips within the ears pretty nicely. It's not a pair that moves around too much, and it's really comfortable. This is probably one of the more comfortable pair of earbuds that I've tested, and it also uses button controls, which I'm a huge fan of. There's a lot of pairs that use touch controls, and when you go to grip the earbuds or even slightly move them, they're always doing something you don't want them to do. Now, as far as the controls themselves, out of the box, they don't give you control over everything. But luckily, these do work with Jabra's app. You just go in, you can customize the controls, because out of the box, they're not giving you the ability to go back to your previous track. You can do everything else, which is strange because you can go into the app and unlock it basically where you can have control over everything. So it's kind of weird that they don't give you just everything right out of the box. Now, normally earbuds have an IP rating, which in this case they do. They have an IP57 rating, which means not only do they have pretty strong water protection, it also has dust protection. And on top of that, the case of these also have an IP rating. It's rated in at IP54, so there's some dust and water protection on the case too. And I think why that's nice is wherever you're gonna have your earbuds, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have the case with you. So if you're out and it's raining, or you're near a pool where you might get splashed on and things like that, your earbuds obviously are in danger of this happening, but the case is too, even if it's in your pocket. So I do like when companies put an IP rating on the case. Now, like I said earlier, these do work with Jabra's app. This is what allows you to keep these updated. This is also where you have some pre-built EQ options, or you can just go in and customize the EQ settings the way that you want. And one feature that's new on these that aren't on any of the other Jabra earbuds is it has Dolby Atmos support. And it has like the dynamic head tracking, where you can just have the spatial audio without the head tracking. So it's nice that they have some of these features built in. Now, I'm still not a fan of what this does to music, but I do see where it's beneficial to use these with things like movies and TV shows. I think it adds a whole lot of space to it. It's not trying to add some weird artificial sound that I think definitely applies when it comes to listening to music. So I still feel like spatial audio is more gimmicky and not really enjoyable when it comes to music, but for everything else, again, I can see its benefits. Now, also within the app, you can switch it between the ANC or the transparency mode. You can actually turn the smart sensors on or off. So these do have the smart sensors where if you take them out of your ears, it'll just automatically pause and it'll just go back to what you're listening to once you put them back in. And then also within the app, you can turn on the Spotify tap feature, which means you can just, basically touch your earbuds and have it open Spotify right up and start playing without having to do all that by pulling out your phone and unlocking it and open the app and stuff like that. Now, Jabra also has a new feature on these that they're calling Comfort Fit. Now this plays more into the ear tips that you get with these. And what it's doing is it's kind of making these act like an open ear style design earbud, because these do have ear tips and usually you get a really good seal and it just kind of blocks out everything around you. But that's not what these ear tips are trying to do. They're trying to kind of allow this little section of openness so you can just kind of hear your surroundings. And it also keeps you from having that like suction or vacuum type feel that a lot of people don't like with normal ear tips. Now the ear tips that they've included, you're getting 4 different sizes and they are proprietary. They're not, a pair that's going, to fit on another pair of earbuds. It's made specifically for these. And there's a unique looking design on the earbuds that's only going to fit these ear tips. Now, this to me plays a huge part in the noise canceling, because the noise canceling is labeled to be 2 times better than any other Jabra earbud when it comes to noise canceling, or at least when it comes to their standard noise canceling. And I'm not that impressed with the noise canceling. And I think, again, it plays into those ear tips, because if you're not getting a complete seal already, it's going to be hard to block out all of the things around you or have that noise canceling be as effective. Now, I do feel like it does a good job against lower tones. I think engine noises and AC units, it does a really good job of blocking those things out. But anything with a higher frequency, anything like if a TV's playing or people are talking, it's not going to block that out as well as some of the other higher end brands out there. Now the transparency mode though, this to me is a different story. I think the transparency mode is almost on par with the AirPod Pros. I think it does a really good job of having things sound pretty natural. It doesn't sound overly digital, it doesn't sound as processed, and it just kind of makes it where you can be more in your environment while you're listening to your music and not feel necessarily as isolated. So they did a good job with the transparency mode, and if you're looking mainly for noise canceling or top tier noise canceling, this is a pair I would not recommend for that. Now these do have Bluetooth 5.3, which is also giving you that multi-point connection. You can connect to more than one device at a time, which just makes it convenient to switch from one device to the other. And then as far as the charging, like I said earlier, it does have Qi wireless charging. It also comes with a USB-C cable, and the battery life on these I think is pretty impressive. I don't think it's like up there with the best, but it's definitely not on the lower end either. So if you're gonna use these with the noise canceling on, you can get about 6 hours on the earbuds and about 27 hours using the case. But if you use them with the noise canceling off, you can squeeze about 8 hours on the earbuds and about 36 hours using the case. And this pair also has a fast charge feature, so if you do pick them up and they're dead, a 5-minute charge will get you about an hour's worth of use. Now that's, not the best that I've seen, but it is nice that at least you're getting some fast charging, because there's a lot of pairs that I've seen out there that just don't have this feature at all. Now, if you're gonna use this pair for taking phone calls, this is an area I was really impressed with. Again, I feel like it's on par with the AirPod Pros when it comes to the mics. There are 6 microphones total, and not only does it do a really good job of picking up my voice, it also does a really good job of blocking out my surroundings. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. So here is the mic test using the Jabra Elite 10s. And like I said, I'm very impressed with the mic quality on these. I would put it up there against some of the best when it comes to mic or call quality. So this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here's the mic test with the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call public. So now let's talk about the sound. And there's nothing surprising here when it comes to the sound, in the fact that it, in typical Jabra fashion, delivers in the low end. These are little bass cannons. I always recommend Jabra to bass heads because you can tell that that's what they're putting first. And the same thing goes with this pair. Even in neutral EQ, which is what it is out of the box, there is so much low end. It's really punchy. They focus a lot on mid and sub bass, so they're just not holding anything back. But the plus is the bass just doesn't come in and destroy everything else. This is still a very bright sounding earbud. It's basically V-shaped out of the box, even though it says neutral, which is supposed to be flat. The bass is pumped up, the treble's pumped up, the mids are just sitting right there in the middle. I don't feel like they're pushed too far up front, but I don't feel like they get, lost in anything else. but you know, you can tell that they're just going to get the most out of the left and the right when it comes to the EQ band. And for the most part, that makes this a fun sounding earbud. It's made to just appeal to consumers. I think if you're a purist or you're looking for that flat sound or neutral sound, yeah, you're definitely going to be disappointed if that's what you're looking for, because even just pulling everything down, this pair's not capable of sounding flat. It's not really capable of tuning down that low end to, you know, almost nothing. You're always going to feel the impact of bass. You're going to hear bass. And I think that's what makes Jabra's earbuds popular. Again, for a consumer tuning, this is going to appeal to the masses, and that's exactly what it does. Now, I do feel like this affects the soundstage and the sound imaging, especially if you're going to use these with that spatial audio turned off. It's not necessarily as wide as a lot of the other earbuds out there. Usually any earbud or headphone that has that dynamic tuning tends to kind of close in the sound some, and that definitely is the case here. Now, if you do want a more open sound, obviously turn on the spatial audio, but that again is where the sound is affected. Now, this is all with the noise canceling on. If you do really want to tune down the bass and tune down the dynamicness of this earbud, you really have to turn the noise canceling off. That plays a huge part in it. But even at that, it's still not a very wide open sounding earbud, but the sound and the tuning in itself is fantastic. I'm a bass head. I'm always pleased with Jabra earbuds. There's not many earbuds out there that can compete with Jabra when it comes to the low end. They're just one of the best in my opinion. So overall, these are Jabra's best earbud to date. They give you all of the features that you can possibly get. They give you that typical Jabra tuning, but in my opinion, they even amped it up a little bit more than their previous models. And again, the only people I do not recommend these for are purists, people that's, again, not liking a dynamic sound or like something that's a little bit more neutral sounding or maybe even warm sounding, because that's not what this pair is. It's a fun earbud that's in your face, it's loud, and with the Dolby Atmos, even though I don't feel like it's good for music, it still plays a big part when it comes to watching movies or watching TV shows. So this is a do-it-all type of earbud, and as long as you're not wanting the best noise canceling or top tier noise canceling out there, I think this earbud is going to appeal to most people. So guys, that's my video on the brand new Jabra Elite 10s. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.